confidence. Some people gain it and some people are born with it. In Vivo's case, confidence is knowing that they are delivering a product that has outstanding CPU performance and has arguably the best camera system. We will discuss this on
Engineer Reacts.
Hello everyone, Barry Johnson, and today we are covering the Vivo X80 Pro once again. I am collaborating with Vivo with respect to the global launch, and in today's video we'll discuss the ergonomics, the performance, and we'll also get more into the camera system. Unfortunately, there's so much to cover in respect to the camera system that I will have to do a couple of dedicated videos. Really, it's that much. All right, so let's start with the ergonomics. People may commonly hear reviewers say things like, oh, it feels good, but in Vivo's case, it actually does feel that good. The iQOO 9 and the X80 Pro introduce probably some of the best feeling phones as far as how it fits into your hand, and they continue that with the X80 Pro. It's something that you notice right away. When you switch to other phones, you quickly realize it's not the X80 Pro, it's not the iQOO 9 Pro. There are no sharp corners, the side panels don't dig into your hand. You never hear the same comments that you hear from the well-known, like the iPhone 13 Pro Max, S22 Ultra. Next, there's the unbelievable fingerprint sensor. It's simply unmatched. It is the best in-display fingerprint sensor on smartphones currently. The Qualcomm-based ultrasonic sensor is fast, and again, the landing area or landing pad is huge. Although I didn't show it, you can also shrink it and add quick launch. So I never thought I would say this as far as a in-display being one of my favorite, but it is. All right, so now let's talk about the outstanding performance of the Vivo X80 Pro. One thing is for certain, and that's companies have had issues with thermal throttling and the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1. I typically buy the Mi series from Xiaomi, and although they dropped the Mi name and passed it on to just as the 12 series, I actually passed as well because of the thermal throttling. And I'm not trying to single out any company. Samsung dropped prices in South Korea on their S22 and S22 Plus because of thermal throttling issues that Hang Yi actually apologized to the shareholders. Now, this came on the heels of the grassroots efforts by South Koreans to initiate a class action lawsuit against Samsung, citing the poor performance of their aforementioned phones. Well, Vivo is a little different. They're not worried about this whatsoever. With scores like 1 million in Antutu and great sustained performance if you go over and over on Antutu, with a great Geekbench score, and also if you look at 3D Mark's Wildlife Extreme, which I'll detail here, the tests CPU and GPU and thermal throttling all at the same time. It takes 20 loops and each loop is scored, and what you'll find is it's stable. You'll see on stable phones, you'll see a steadily decrease over time, and a decent score is about a 60%, which is just a little bit higher than what the S22 Ultra and the OnePlus 10 Pro achieved. All right, so with the X80 Pro, you see that their best loop score was this number here, but their stability was at 79%. And this is simply outstanding with a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 chipset without a dedicated cooling system found in gaming phones. Now, I played all the customary games just to verify the benchmarks, and I also played Genshin Impact and had no issues to report. Ran fantastically. So CPU performance is more closer to what you would expect on a gaming phone. Finally, let's get into the camera system. If you've been following Vivo, you understand that Zeiss goes deeper than just the lens. Although the lens have been improved and have been improving over time, you'll see reduced lens flare, you'll see reduced chromatic aberration, but Zeiss has added its color size to a ton of modes that I can't cover in just one video, and that's the reason why we're gonna do dedicated videos. So Vivo has not particularly be known, like most manufacturers, for neutral colors. They generally tend on the side of having saturated, a la Samsung and a la Xiaomi, or a la OnePlus. So Zeiss came in and said, hey, we're going to add a profile that will be pleasing, but it will be natural to people and photographers and videographers. But if you're still wanting to flex on the gram, you can always turn off the Zeiss profile to prefer that more saturated look. So the first thing that I do is turn off saturation just to notice if anything when I bring color back into the photos. And again, the Zeiss profile is incredible. Here's another look at, this was early morning, it just rained, and I took a photo, and now I add color back and I see that it's extremely natural. So the following daylight photos were shot in Pro mode, and don't worry, auto mode is great on this phone, but Pro mode is magical and it's easy to use. For example, in daylight, just set the ISO to the lowest setting, and in this case it's 50, and adjust the shutter speed level to that represents the sky, or if you have like a background you can focus on, and take the shot. Now let's take a look at some of these.
Engineer reacts. Engineer reacts. Engineer reacts.
Alright, so since we brought up Zeiss, let's talk about night mode. Now on my first video I showed my enthusiasm because I was shocked at the recovered detail in night mode. I wasn't too concerned with the fact that it looked like it was daytime, but it was just the detail that it grabbed from the dark. However, there was an update that adjusted it back to the look of night, and here are these photos.
Engineer reacts.
Let's recap. The X80 Pro has the best ergonomics. It's only bested by gaming phones or MediaTek-based phones when it comes to benchmarks, and that's when you're looking at sustained performance, which we should be looking at. And I cannot stop taking videos and photos with this. I literally pull on the side of the road a lot of places and just go, I can take a shot here, which has never happened before. Before the Vivo, I would always say things like Google needs a pro mode over and over again. That ends now. Google has point and shoot photography on lock. Now they need to add point and shoot video. Make sure that's on lock. Vivo is clearly handling the rest. Oh, and one last thing. The Vivo team is extremely confident in the X line of phones. As someone that owns the Pixel 6, the Pixel 6 Pro, the S22 Ultra, the OnePlus 10 Pro, and now the Vivo X80 Pro, I can say with confidence that Vivo has the best camera system. And with that, we're out.